here for game number 2 today for the main event of the Escape Gaming Masters. We have DauT versus TaToH. What do you call him, Nobody? What do you call him?
I call him TaToH.
I call him TaToH as well, so we can agree on that. That's good. All right, and we're here on Serengeti. Not Serengeti. I looked at the map and I thought, hold on a minute, this looks like something. No, it's Kilimanjaro. We saw this map yesterday. It's a pretty interesting map. Players are forced towards the center in order to get wood, and you've got this big-ass hill in the middle, which is, I guess, Kilimanjaro. Around the edge, you've got some gold, and you've got little clumps of trees, but generally speaking, I think this is quite a high aggressive map. It's difficult to wall, and I'll let you kind of do some introductions for the players, I guess.
All right, in the bottom right corner, in the red trunks, we have DauT playing as the Malay. And in the top left, we have TaToH playing as the Indian, so we will have a non-mirror Civ war here.
Yeah, and something that's interesting to me, actually, is we've not seen any Civ wars yet. And it's completely possible with our drafting system that we could see a Civ war. Because if both players were to ban the same 3 civilizations in the second phase, that means that they could both pick the same civilizations in the final phase. So it's interesting that we've continued to see these non-mirror matchups so far. And one thing I've noticed is that we've seen a hell of a lot of the Malay this tournament. They seem to be a very good pick from what's left, let's put it that way. And they certainly work well with this high aggression style that we've seen a lot of players taking on these maps.
I think so as well. Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, okay, no problem. So, yeah, we've got, obviously, the Malay for DauT, but TaToH with the Indians. The Indians are an interesting choice because, for me, they're more of a boom Civ. They really get going in the later stages of the game, where they can use their extra range on their gunpowder from their unique technology, and they can use their really superior camels. But it's interesting that he would take this Civ here. I don't think they're bad by any means. But certainly a little more limited, I feel, especially when playing highly aggressive. Now, one of the nice things about the Indians, of course, is that their villagers cost less by every age. In the Dark Age, they only cost 45 food instead of 50, and that continues to decrease as the game goes on. So the Indians get a food bonus, essentially, throughout the game, and that's really nice for them. It could help them out if they want to go for something like Scouts, but we'll have to wait and see what the game plan is here.
Yeah, it really helps a lot. I mean, if you save about 5 food on every villager and you make 20 villagers in a Dark Age, you're saving about 100 food there, which is huge. And then that carries over to Feudal Age and Castle Age and Imperial Age. You're saving thousands of food as the game goes on.
Yeah, exactly. Especially once you get into the Castle Age and you add your second and third town center, because at that point your villages are 20% cheaper, so they're only costing you 40 food instead of 50. So every single villager you make in the Castle Age, which is where you start booming, costs you 10 food less, and that's 10 food that you can use for other things like making camels. But this is where the Indians kind of fall down. They get this great food bonus. But what do they spend their food on? Because they can't make knights. They have no access to the knight line at all.
Now, the big elephant in the room is going to be, how does this food bonus stack up against the Malay uptime bonus? The kind of unusual thing about this matchup is there's really only one bonus that's going to be very prominent in this game. It's going to be the food bonus for the Indians and then the uptime bonus for the Malay.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, because obviously the Malay are a naval Civ, so the rest of their bonuses apply to the water. But
unless we see harbors.
Oh, well, that's true, unless we see harbors, but I think that's incredibly unlikely. They're saying that there are actually quite a few ponds on this map. It would be an interesting strat for the late game, but let's see how that plays out.
You could put some fish traps on the ponds too. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I actually wouldn't count that out because that could be quite legit. For those of you who don't know, the harbors are basically it is the Malay that get the harbors, right? Am I actually?
Yes, and they also get cheaper fish traps and unlimited food fish traps.
So yeah, that's awesome for them. The harbors are basically like a mini castle that doesn't cost any stone. So that's incredibly powerful if you combine that with like building defensively and putting some fish traps down, which, like we said, don't run out of food ever. That can be incredibly strong. And I think, even though the Malay are listed as a naval Civ, they're actually incredibly good on land as well.
Yeah, I believe so too. Kind of like how the Vikings are, except I think the Malay fall off a little bit later in the game, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They have this weird kind of they fall off in the late game when there's gold, but as soon as there's no gold, they come right back again because of forced levy, and they can just spam two-handed swordsman without having to spend any gold. And they're actually such an interesting civ because they get these power spikes as the game goes on, and they have moments of strength and weakness. It's really cool to see how they play out. But right now, DauT adding in a barracks and starting off with this aggression nice and early, as we would expect on this map, making 3 militia looking to get a drush going.
Now, what is TaToH doing? He hasn't put up any military building yet, and he's halfway to feudal age. He'll be in the next age very shortly. It looks like he's going to go for a scout rush here.
Yeah, I think that actually would be pretty fitting for his civ. Like, we've talked about the civ bonuses already, and you can see here TaToH taking the ostrich at the back, which is of course like the equivalent of a deer from AOC. But yeah, only 2 farms right now, and actually no food left under the town center. So maybe looking to get horse collar before he seeds more farms here.
Now, one thing I'm sure everybody's noticed watching on YouTube or in the stream is that this is a really weird Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
These guys are really close to each other, and look at DauT. DauT is scouting at the top side. He actually doesn't know where his opponent is.
It's funny when you said "uh-oh," I knew exactly what you were gonna say and had DauT's fog of war ready for you to say that, because it's like, yeah, he's just completely scouting in the wrong direction, and these guys are actually incredibly close to one another for this map. But they don't realize it because neither of them have scouted out properly yet. Oh no, sorry, I take that back. DauT hasn't scouted out properly, but TaToH has. But if you look at TaToH's scouting pattern, he's scouted the opposite side of the map first, and I think maybe getting a little lucky that he's found DauT here.
Yeah, luck is definitely the key. I don't blame DauT at all. You need to lure in your ostrich, your zebra, and he's doing the right thing to scout the opposite side of the map. Yeah. But this is just a weird map.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like yeah, never mind. I was going to make a comparison to migration in the sense that, you know, your opponent can be really far away, but sometimes, just sometimes, they're really close. But whoa, TaToH coming in, that feudal age scout there with +2 attack, killing a villager in the woodline. That is super nice for TaToH, and that's a early advantage. Yeah, exactly.
This could be. I like to say the first strategic decision you make in the game is where to place your lumber camp, and DauT's placed the lumber camp in the forward position on the downhill instead of the nice wood on the left.
Yeah, exactly, and that's probably going to bite him in the ass as the game goes on, because it's going to be hard to defend this. And of course, with these scouts coming in, he's going to be doing some big damage. DauT, he's not feudal yet, so he can't even add a spearman in here. His militia are out of position in the center of the map, and TaToH has free reign over this woodline. DauT forced to fight with his vills.
Yeah, the militia went out for a stroll across the mountain. They went for a hike, and now they're coming back.
Yeah, exactly. And TaToH, I like this, actually. He's bringing forward some spears as well, just to keep this aggression up higher. Spears, terrible at killing villagers. But if DauT decides to add some scouts or something, they're there, they're ready to go. And they also work as a little bit of a meat shield in front of your scouts a bit. But look at this, DauT gonna lose another villager here. And this is a real problem, as he's only just reached the feudal age now.
This should even him out as far as villages, because the Malay, you know, they're able to build villagers while they're not upping. But still not a good thing. Still 100 food lost.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's 3 villages now, I think, going down. And TaToH putting himself into a great position here. DauT's militia coming in at the back, and TaToH's going to retreat away with his 2 scouts. If I was TaToH right now, I'd feel very happy with how that's gone so far, or how it's gone so far. And back at home, he's adding in his archery range, doing a pretty standard kind of transition into archers. This is something we'd see in AOC, and it's kind of fitting the metagame very nicely, actually, for, well, the AOC metagame.
Well, you have to with Indians, especially on this map. On this map, you have to go full aggressive the whole time. You can't just stop making army, because as soon as you do, your opponent will be in your base, in your woodlines, on your gold. And also with the Indians, it's not like you can fast castle into knights either.
No, exactly. You know, you really have to go archers into crossbow. They don't have much other choice. I guess they could make camels, because in the expansions we have to remember that the camels are no longer classed as ships, which means that they don't take so much additional damage from buildings. But yeah, I mean, camels are only really going to work out if your opponent's going for cavalry anyway. So they're kind of shoehorned into making archers and crossbow, and then they have to transition away from that as the game goes on anyway, because their late game archers are not that good. Oh wait, maybe not actually.
They're top tier. They're good.
Yeah, I was going to say, so rarely that I get to see these civs in action. So yeah, they actually do have great arbalest, so it makes a lot of sense to go into crossbow in the Castle Age as well, and start making the archers in the Feudal Age.
Now, TaToH's going to lose 2 scouts here, so that's going to help DauT get back. If you look at the scores, they're actually very close. In fact, DauT is in the lead right now. I don't know how much of that is those 3 lonely militia.
Yeah,
but it's still a pretty close game here.
Well, I think it's a combination of the militia and the scouting. Like, DauT's actually scouted a huge amount of the map with those guys. So that's probably artificially inflating his score a little bit. But yeah, right now, map control feels like TaToH's. And DauT's going to have to find some solution to gathering wood safely here. He's actually sending 3 vills forward, maybe?
Oh my gosh, this is an excellent tower if this goes up. That's both of TaToH's wood lines right there. And he's going to make use out of these militia. Is he going to get it up, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. TaToH, of course, defender's advantage. He'll be able to reinforce a lot quicker than DauT can send units across the map. And it looks like he's given up. He's sent the villagers back. But the foundation is still there, so maybe he's looking to get that later on, but realizes that right now, he's not in a real good position to get aggressive here.
Yeah, the thing is, TaToH's made only skirmishers. He's not expecting, to deal with these militia. They're being a huge nuisance. There's only 1 archer in this mix.
Yeah, the militia going to disrupt the skirms a bit, but at the same time, I think he's going to be feeling fairly confident with the skirms right now, since DauT has got archers only. So, yeah, I mean, right now, TaToH missing...
And here comes the scout.
Oh yeah, the scout's going to do a little bit in here as well. But yeah, we're lacking fletching for TaToH at the moment. And that's going to give DauT the edge, I feel, here, even though he has got archers in this fight as well. Simply having the militia and the scout to disrupt the skirms, that's going to allow the archers from the back to still do some decent damage and allow TaToH to get his tower up.
I don't know how this happened at all, but DauT seems to be in the driver's seat now. We're seeing a tower come up from him. We're not seeing a counter tower up from TaToH. He can easily put one up.
I think TaToH's distracted by this fight on the right-hand side, and this is great play by DauT because he's using his army as a distraction while his villagers sneak that tower up on the left. Now TaToH's realized, but has he realized too late? Will he be able to get a counter tower up in time? I don't think so. Even with these 6 villagers. Yeah, this is DauT really taking the map control back and putting like you say, getting himself in the driver's seat.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how this happened at all. Just how does DauT have so much army and TaToH doesn't?
Well, that's something that Nupford should hopefully be able to clear up for us at the end of the game. But he's got, 20 military right now, whilst TaToH has just 15. DauT has a decent-sized lead, and he's got a pretty good mix of archers and skirms as well, so he can actually fight TaToH's army quite well. I think DauT could benefit from +1 defense, and I'd check his army. He's actually got that as well. So DauT right here is in a great position, but will he lose this foundation? Nah. Is already too much building work done on that. I don't know. Maybe he could lose the foundation, actually. It's going down.
We can only hope. Here he comes for the second try. A lot of these villagers are very, very low.
Oh, yeah. TaToH going to rush the tower down. And it looks to me like DauT has the superior army here. Both of them doing +1 defense now, so they're even on the upgrades. TaToH, though, bringing his villagers into fight. This is forcing a lot of idle time. It's also putting his villagers' lives in danger. Villagers' lives matter. Come on, TaToH.
I think we're going to see this even up a bit. Either way, DauT's going to lose a lot of army here.
Well, DauT's going to lose some army, but how many villages is TaToH going to lose as well? I think it's totally worth it, though, to be honest. This is actually pretty good. DauT here taking some big losses as he tries to retreat. And tower's been dealt with as well, so TaToH has regained access to his woodline. Who do you think's ahead right now? It's been very back and forth.
It's so hard to say. The nice thing about this hill is they're going to get some downhill hits. I like what TaToH's done. He's built a lot of skirmishers. He's not really fearing the cavalry from the Malay. So just go ahead and go full out skirmishers.
Yeah, but TaToH, throwing away his villagers here, he really didn't need to go that far. I think he overextended with the villagers quite a lot, to be honest. And, with DauT taking the hill as well, it just meant that those villagers died that much faster. He's lost a lot of gathering time. He's lost 3 or 4 vills. And I think overall, this is where the spectator dashboard is so nice, because we can look at that and say, well, DauT has X amount less or more villagers, but we can only really guess at this stage. And we can look at how their economies are looking at home. DauT, a good number of farms, actually. TaToH, a lot of farms going idle. I feel like DauT should have the edge to the Castle Age. But,
look at the resources, though.
Yeah, looking at the resources, TaToH's slightly ahead.
shortly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, goes to show you, well, we're gonna have the Malay go up faster, but TaToH's closer to actually clicking the upgrade.
Yes.
It goes to show you that Indian advantage.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that food cost of his villagers has just been adding so much extra food to his bank that he's not had to spend. So, I don't know. It's going to be close, I think. DauT, I mean, it may be a little deceptive how much food he has right now, because he's really only making archers and skirms. He's not investing too heavily in food-intense units. And I believe he should have done wheelbarrow by now. I can check that real quick. No, he has not. So DauT should be looking to do wheelbarrow any second now. Another fight going on the left, though. DauT seems to have the edge here. He's certainly got the numbers, and he's trying to keep those armies as close together as possible to stop TaToH getting away. That's nice for DauT, indeed.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go to a Castle Age fight. Looks like DauT's now 300 points ahead. We'll have to see how this translates into the up times. But DauT has a bit of an army advantage. He's going to push out right now.
Yeah, and TaToH getting ever closer to that 800 food, 200 gold to click up. DauT, I feel, missing wheelbarrow for some time. Maybe that's going to be slowing him down a little bit. But, yeah, currently adding a third range. So it doesn't look like he's too bothered about the Castle Age right now. I think he just wants to keep the aggression and keep the pressure going.
Yeah, well, DauT's currently nowhere near clicking up at this point. He's got basically 100 food. The nice thing about TaToH is one of the essentials on this map, I believe, is to tower up your map. You really can't wall it sufficiently. And TaToH's got a pretty nice map at this point.
The towers are definitely protecting his wood, and even that gold on that far left side, once he's chopped the wood away, that tower's going to help. But I think in the Castle Age, watchtowers, I think people put too much value on them, to be honest. I think they're really weak. Overall, they're so easy to deal with once you get to the Castle Age. It's maybe you're giving a little bit of false sense of security to TaToH.
But this is TaToH. We might see the guard tower.
Oh, that's true. Things. That's true. Guard tower. Well, I mean, this is now the later patch, right? Back when arrow slits was available in the Castle Age and it was super OP, you'd see guard towers and watchtowers with arrow slits every day. But nowadays, that's definitely. I think that nerf was much needed, to be honest. But look at this. TaToH now going up to the Castle Age.
Yeah. Now the guard tower does have +1 attack from AOC though, so it's still a little stronger. Here's another tower from DauT. I think DauT's intention here is to slow TaToH's uptime by getting rid of these farms.
Yes.
But little does he know, TaToH's already up.
Yeah, absolutely. And DauT's still not showing the upgrade time that we'd really expect to see from him as the Malay. He's going to click it now. And overall, I mean, it's not going to be a huge difference. It's going to be maybe a minute difference in upgrade time because obviously there's Malay. Well, the Malay just upgrades so quick. It's such a nice bonus. TaToH with another defensive tower on his gold. It doesn't look like there's a hole here. So, oh no, there is a hole between the blacksmith and the house, but I don't think DauT wants to go in. Maybe once he's done Elite Skirmisher, but he's not in the Castle Age yet, so he can't. He's going to go in anyway. That's a little risky. Doesn't want to get trapped in here.
Does DauT know about this raid in the back? There's some archers from TaToH in the back.
Oh, they've snuck all the way around. Wow. That is sneaky.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the crossbow and Elite Skirmisher upgrade. Here they come.
Yeah, TaToH right now, once he has the bodkin arrow as well as the crossbow, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to these farms on the mill. And actually, even the golden stone. He's even got his scout here for vision. Where's DauT's defenses? He's got some army on the hill. He'll have to bring that over. But this is going to be maybe 3 or 4 dead villagers here for TaToH.
At the same time, TaToH losing his army on the bottom side. We're seeing a siege workshop come up for a Mangonel. And DauT's continuing the towers at the top side.
Yeah, that's the thing that DauT has the edge here, right? He was slower to castle, but not by much. He was only just slower. And he's got a much larger army at this stage of the game as well. So once he gets these upgrades, he's going to have more units. He's going to have even upgrades. And it's going to get pretty bad.
Yeah, we've seen 6 villagers go down in DauT's base, and only now is DauT chasing him back.
Yeah, I think there was like, yeah, I see 5, but I take your word there was 6. Oh yeah, there was 6 on the gold as well. So TaToH doing some good eco damage here, but I feel like DauT, but let's remember, he's had the 3rd range up. He's had more production. He's also now going for a Mangonel as well. But let's see this Mangonel shot. Only 1 skirmisher going down. That was not the Mangonel shot TaToH was hoping for. He really needs to hit some good ones.
There's one thing that DauT doesn't get enough credit for in his game. He's great at macroing, but he's also great at taking control of taking map control. And look at it, he's got the siege workshop on the hill. We're going to see a mangonel trade here.
Oh! Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I thought that DauT's mangonel shot would do a lot more damage to TaToH than that. He was on the hill, and he still only took it down to half health. That's very strange.
We're going to see a bit of mangonel dancing here. Looks like the army from TaToH has been repelled. Most of the action's just right here in front of the siege workshop.
Yeah, what time are you at in game, by the way? I'm at 30...
I'm at 321.
Okay. I'm, yeah, just a little bit behind you, I think. Just slightly. There we go. Okay, so DauT managing to kill another mangonel from TaToH, which means that he's actually got the mangonel lead now with 2 mangonels to 0. That's actually a really big advantage. It's going to be very difficult for TaToH to actually close the gap now in mangonel count, since the best you can hope to achieve is a 1-for-1 trade with mangonels. If you get 1-for-2, that's very good. It requires a lot of micro. And DauT, if he keeps making mangonels from here, he should maintain his advantage. But right now, the siege workshop is idle. We'll have to see if there's another good fight on that hill. But look at DauT. He's actually playing very defensively with this army on the right side. He's got about 15 units here that aren't being used to get aggressive on TaToH. They're just kind of sitting in defense.
Oh, another nice mangonel trade. We're going to see a 1-for-1 here. This whole situation on the front is just screaming for camels. I mean, it's only skirmishers in the front, and this mangonel on the top is exposed. I would love to see a camel or two, just to take out the mangonels.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point, because the camels from the Indians, it's not something that you really think of immediately, but they actually could be pretty good. And actually, TaToH did just queue up a camel there, so that's pretty nice. But right now, he's housed, which is never ever a good thing. He's going to have to throw some houses up here, because his military production has stalled. But yeah, the camel, totally a good call, to be honest, because... with +1/+1 armor for free, and with only skirmishers really on the front, he can definitely use that to even up the mangonels a little bit. So that's a great call, and certainly a good choice as well. But TaToH really feeling the pressure. These towers have denied him quite a bit of farming around his starting TC, and he's kind of getting cornered, I feel. I feel like he's getting boxed in. He doesn't feel too comfortable about that.
Here comes the camels!
Hey, there you go.
Oh, big shot!
Nice.
Big mangonel shot.
On the left side, the camels, they will actually take the mangonel out. And TaToH, he'll get 3 mangonel kills on DauT there. DauT loses all of his mangonels. The camels could continue to come in and fight this army, I feel. But obviously, there is a watchtower there doing a little extra damage as well. Good fight for TaToH, I'd say, but he still hasn't really broken free of these shackles that DauT has kind of put him in. He's still very much boxed into the corner of the map, and he's feeling the heat. But I think he's going to try and break out with a castle, and he's going to put that castle down any second now. Where's he going to place that, though? That's the big question.
Well, I think he'd like to place it on the siege workshop. I don't think he has the army for that, though. The thing about TaToH, he feels like he's in a corner here, and more so than he should, because he actually has a wood in the back. If you look at his base, he actually thinks he's completely out of wood.
Yeah, I'm just checking the mangonel fight in the middle, actually, right now. DauT's going to lose another one. Good trade for TaToH. But yeah, like you say, the wood situation looks pretty bad. He doesn't really have any access to wood as far as he knows. But we know from a spectator standpoint that he does have that small clump. But yeah, let's be honest, that's not going to last him very long anyway. So building a castle out here on the right side just to secure wood. But DauT, he's coming in with the army. How many villagers can he kill before this castle goes up? There's one. Can he get some more? No, he's fighting their skirmishers instead. There you go, 2 villagers down. And the castle would just be garrisoned, and it's a safe haven for TaToH now. I feel like DauT could have made a little bit better of that situation, killed a few more villagers perhaps, but it's still a good fight for him anyway, as that castle goes up to secure the wood line at the top of the map.
Yeah, once again, DauT's in the driver's seat. He has more army. He has the mangonels positioned on the bottom side. He has 2 town centers up, and he'll be up to the next age faster.
Yeah, this is the nice thing for DauT, right? If you compare the situation here, TaToH only on 1 TC. He's had to build a castle to secure wood. DauT, on the other hand, he doesn't need to save up 650 stone to build a castle. He's just built a TC in the center of the map, and like you say, he's up to 3 TCs now even.
3, yeah.
So yeah, he's actually in a great spot. He's pulling ahead massively in economy, and I would not be surprised if we see DauT, if he continues to keep this map control, become really dominant once he reaches the Imperial Age. Although saying that, he's also pretty dominant right now as well.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit ugly for TaToH. He has to somehow retake this hill, or I don't see him coming back in economy at this point. I'm not sure how he's going to do it. I think he's got to keep the gas going on these mangonel production.
Yeah, of course. I mean, mangonel production isn't going to slow down your ability to boom either. So, I mean, that's kind of a nice thing to keep in mind. But mangonel trade on the hill. TaToH, DauT going at it. And I think TaToH trying to keep the hill advantage. DauT with a little more micro. And I think he's going to come out on top here. Hard to say, though, because obviously the skirmishes mixed with the crossbows. But he certainly has the numbers here to clean this up. And it's only a small army anyway. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like right now, TaToH, he's playing the boom Civ. He's playing the Indians. His villages are so cheap, but he's still only got one town center. He's missing out on the potential for a lot more economy here. Instead, he's opting to try and invest more into military and get a bit more aggressive, but it just doesn't seem to be working out too well. DauT holding onto these hills so well, and even TaToH trying to sneak some villages around on the hill, but DauT cleans that up. So TaToH really falling behind now.
I think this says a lot about where TaToH's position is. He's actually chosen to go for a university in this position instead of another town center. It goes to show you how aggressive TaToH's feeling right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that decision at this stage. I think he feels like, okay, DauT, he's ahead in economy. I have to do some damage to his economy because I simply can't catch up otherwise. But he hardly has any army still. And even with ballistics from the university, I don't know how much that's going to help him. We're still looking at a lot of mangonels from DauT, and there's another great mangonel shot right there. It's a tough uphill battle, quite literally, for TaToH here.
And here comes the camels. I think, are they going to get a mangonel shot here? Let's see how bulky these guys are.
Oh, they're going to get one. They're going to get one. But with the crossbows here, I don't think they're going to get too much more. So, I mean, camels not the best. Not the best for taking out mangonels. There's certainly better units, but TaToH doesn't really have any other choices. He's pushing up with the ram, which is also countered by the mangonel. So DauT defending with very little, but he's doing it so very well, and sending an expedition across the mountain. That earlier scouting paying off, it seems, as he's found a gold mine to take in safety over on this right side.
Yeah, this is why I mentioned I think that TaToH should continue mangonel production. Maybe he's too intimidated that he's going to lose his mangonel to the hill here. But once again, TaToH showing more signs of aggression. He's going up with the siege workshop, and there's actually army right there for DauT. Like, DauT knew it was coming.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big mistake from TaToH. He's kind of sending his villagers out without much protection, and DauT's well aware. He's, like you said, he's got the control of the map, so he sees what's coming and when it's coming. And at the same time, he's reached the Imperial Age now as well, so we're going to see Bracer coming out at the blacksmith, the archery ranges. I can't remember if the Malay get arbalest. They do. That's coming in. We're going to see a castle in a minute from DauT as well. And, I mean, it's a shame that DauT doesn't have a castle already. Well, it's a shame for DauT that he doesn't have a castle, because he'd immediately be able to get aggressive onto the castle from TaToH on that wood line. But yeah, right now, TaToH going for an attack, pushing towards this TC, even bringing a ram in.
Here comes the ram.
Slowly but surely.
Doesn't do it. I don't know what will.
Yeah, I feel like TaToH's trying to throw everything at this, but nothing's really sticking, you know? Nothing's really being achieved. He's just throwing units in, and then they're being killed off. So now DauT's Imperial. He's going to have the tech advantage. His Arbalest are going to be able to crush this army from TaToH as well. It's very scary.
When you send a ram in, you're supposed to be serious, like, oh, I'm going to send everything I got at you. But we see a ram, and then we see a bunch of dead bodies here, so
yeah, exactly.
Not much hope for TaToH, I think.
Exactly, and there's the castle from DauT now. Now, I would love to see the Karambit Warrior here as well. I still think the Karambit Warrior is a great unit in many situations, but one of those situations is raiding. The map's very open, TaToH's very open, and the Karambit Warrior can get in there and raid like crazy, so that's certainly an opportunity for him here. The castle, at the very least, will help to protect the center of the map, but those mangonels, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
One more, give me one more. Please, baby.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
So much damage. Of
Oh
course,
my God.
both Mangonel's going to go down. But at this stage of the game, does DauT even care about losing 10 villagers? Of course he doesn't. His economy is so far ahead.
GG.
GG.
GG. Man, what can you say about that game? DauT got so unlucky with that militia drush, but somehow he came back. He came back with his army, put some forward towers up, kept the aggression going on TaToH, and TaToH got up to the next stage sooner, but wasn't able to really do too much with it. He had a nice raid, but DauT, I think the move of this game was DauT placing that siege workshop on the hill, just knowing how important this hill was, and saying, you know, TaToH, if you're going to hit me, you're going to have to go through this hill. And TaToH not able to get through that hill.
Absolutely. It was really an uphill fight every time TaToH wanted to take an engagement in the Castle Age. I'd say it was two things. First of all, yes, the Siege Workshop and the additional mangonels that DauT had the whole game. But also the fact he added the third archery range much sooner. TaToH, at the end of that game, still only had 2 archery ranges. So his production was never there. It was never on a level with DauT. So DauT was able to just keep the army advantage in numbers alone. And then back at home, I mean, he's untouched. He's got 3 TCs. He's managed to do a full boom. And that's it from there. And, you know, I think that he was very dominant that game. TaToH really not having a great time on Kilimanjaro, to say the least. He's not been too successful on this map so far this tournament. And he will now, of course, drop down just to the lower bracket advantage in numbers.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, I mean, TaToH saved up 650 stone. Why did TaToH have so much stone? It's because DauT was pressuring him the whole game. And then once he places down the castle, what did he do with it? You know, imagine if he, you know, invested more into wood or food or for an extra archer or ranger or whatever instead of the castle.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the thing as well with this castle here. It's necessary. He has to defend a wood line, otherwise he has no wood. But when you have to
just didn't have the military.
Exactly. When you have to do that, it's because you don't have the military to defend yourself. DauT didn't have to bother with a castle until much later in the game, at which point, TaToH's already lost, in my opinion. So, a good game, and DauT will move forward. TaToH dropping down to the lower bracket. He's not out yet, and we'll look at the bracket in a short while, but yeah, a good game indeed. We're going to throw it across to Nilpford now for some analysis. He can tell us exactly where TaToH went wrong. And we will see you in... Oh, wait, no, never mind. He's added a bit longer to the timer. We got another minute. Oh, not TaToH. Oh, Nilpford even. Ridiculous. But okay, looking at the achievements then, we can just have a quick browse. TaToH, the KD wasn't that different. But the difference is, DauT can afford to lose those units because the economy was so far in his favor, right? You can afford to throw away units if you can afford to replace them.
Yeah. The villager high was absolutely ridiculous at the end here. I think just DauT, it was all about his map control, all about limiting resources. And those things don't necessarily show up in the KD ratio.
Yeah, for sure. And when we look at the economy tab, we can see just how far ahead DauT was there. There's so many factors that go into these kind of games, but we are now going to throw it across to Nilpford, and he can go ahead and take it away.
Welcome guys to the analysis of the game DauT against TaToH. I think at this point it was already looking pretty tough for TaToH. Look at this, pop 76 for DauT here, and TaToH was struggling with pop 62, and therefore, like Nobody41 said before, DauT was able to take this very precious hill here. Let's take a look how we got into this situation. First of all, we had a pretty good start here for TaToH, going with his early scouts and the spearmen, killing 3 villagers, so totally equalizing out or even getting an advantage against the Malay. So that was pretty nice. Not the very, very best micro, but it was pretty reasonable. Then we had this one engagement where TaToH was pushing back DauT at the left-hand side. He lost 1 or 2 villages there as well, but just a superior number of skirmishers gave him the advantage in that fight. And yeah, it was pretty nice by him. But then I think he overextended a bit. And you can see that in this scene where he lost most of his army. Not the greatest micro. Should have went back a bit further, training it out a bit more equally, but now retreating, and you can see he's losing so many more archers and skirmishers while retreating. And yeah, then his army was just so much smaller to get into this situation. And now TaToH is having the Mangonauts out earlier, but he has to fight against the hill of DauT. And DauT is starting off with 2 early nice kills here, 2 for none with the Mangonauts. Let's take a look. He's getting some nice hits against the skirmishers, but just take a look at this. And now the skirmishers can do the rest. Losing some and losing some HP, but that's a nice start for him. And now we can see the second Mangonaut going down as well. TaToH is trying his very best to out-micro this, but it is just super tough against the hill. TaToH later on did get some nice kills off, but bam! And that's so deadly. And TaToH in this spot now, yeah, just heavily struggling. Like, all the area was so exposed. He could have seen this area was super exposed, and we saw the area in the top here very exposed as well. All this area was very unprotected, and yeah, not much he could do, and therefore he had to go for full army, needed to go for lots of Mangonauts. At the same time, DauT did add 1 extra TC, soon to add the second extra TC over here as well, and yeah, simply had the better army all game long, and the better eco just going into it. TaToH staying on 1 TC. Let's take a look at the populations. It's 90 for DauT, 78 for TaToH, but that's because he has a bit more army. Now needs to go for camels, which aren't that great to kill Mangonauts, kind of costly as well. And yeah, I think it was an overextension over here that DauT got this sweet hill, the nice trade-off against the Mangonauts all the time, and then DauT could abuse it, go for the big eagle boom here, or big eagle boom. Let's call it 3 TGs, and yeah, TaToH did end the game on 1 TC only, and couldn't really put the pressure on as well, and then you can't win games. That's it for me. That was nearly, and the show continues with ZeroEmpires and nobody 49.